Welcome to the podcast of Where Love Touches People. Thank you for tuning in. This week, we are doing the Your Opinion section. We have invited guests with contrast perspective and they will give their thoughts on our selected topic.
So welcome everyone to another wonderful episode of Where Love Touches People. So continuing our theme this month of worship, and we've got a bit of a special episode for everyone today. When we talk about worship, it might be something that quite difficult to understand sometimes. Even adults, we can have some trouble understanding what worship is. But I believe that Jesus is accessible to all ages. And in the same sense, worship should also be accessible to all ages. So tonight we'll be discussing about how we teach worship in the context of children ministry. And we've got some really special guests with me here tonight. We've got Elizabeth. Beth.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
She is she is my boss in children's ministry. So she is the Sunday school coordinator. Will be the appropriate term, would it?
I think, yeah, you can call me that. That's fine.
And we've also got Tania, Xian, who's one of the teachers as well.
Yep.
So Tania and I, we are both teachers in the children's ministry.
That's true.
But we teach different age groups, yeah?
Yep.
So maybe we can start with a bit of self-introduction for the listeners. Maybe, Beth, would you like to start?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. People know me as Beth. So I've been living in Australia for 12 years and so on.
Wow.
Currently working as a QC technician in one of the pharmaceutical company. Yeah, that's just a brief introduction about me.
Yep.
I'm Tania. People call me Xian. I've been living here in Brisbane for 5 years, and I'm a swimming teacher. I'm teaching kids, the little kids, and I've been joining Sunday school service at Rock Brisbane since 2015.
Wow, excellent. So maybe we can start off with maybe talking about what Rock Junior is. What is it, Beth?
Oh, Rock Junior. Okay, so it's a Sunday school ministry in Rock Brisbane Church. We technically have 4 classes at the moment. So we start from toddler, and then we have preschool and school age, which is the leader is Xian. And then we have preteens, and then we have teen class, which is the leader is Andrew.
I just happen to be looking after them.
Thank you, Andrew. You did a very good job.
Thank you. So I guess this is a question that I ask every children minister that I meet, because I think it's always interesting. So how did you guys get into children's ministry?
Okay, so I joined the Sunday school in 2015. It was at first my sister was the Sunday school teacher, and then I happened to help her weekly, and then I think that's where I start Sunday school, and then I started to learn from her how to tell kids Bible story. Like I learned a lot from her, not only my sister but also from Chisiska and then other teachers that were teaching in 2015. But I was only as a helper, but I think I started to really being like a teacher for Sunday school maybe a year after. So that's how I started Sunday school, because I love kids as well.
Don't we all?
I know.
Okay, for me, I guess I will be similar like Xian. So I actually saw Chisiska teaching the classes. I just decided to go into the classes, see how the children interact, and then to see how, they actually quite keen in listening and then engage while Chisiska was like teaching and stuff. So I'm thinking, oh, this is actually really fun. It's very interesting. And I guess from there, then I decided probably I should give it a try, since I like kids as well too. And yeah, I guess starting from then till now. Yeah.
So maybe I'll tell you, I guess I can share my story as well.
Yeah, of course.
I think I've told Beth the story. It's a bit of a funny one. So I think I started in children's ministry in 2014 probably.
So before you came to Brisbane?
Before I came to Brisbane, but
Yeah.
I did used to live in Sydney for quite a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah.
So I started there. So at that time, my Sunday school coordinator was, oh my goodness. Okay, I think she loved to train people by just getting them to dive into,
Yes.
to get as much
Like
experience as
straight away.
possible.
Yep.
First day, they were having the worship session, and then they made me. She asked me, Andrew, hey, can you lead worship with me? Like, what do you want me to dance and sing as well? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, for real? Like, oh my goodness. That day, okay, we had the little kids, and then we had the parents as well. And then I had to dance in front of them, a dance that I didn't know, and I had to sing a song as well. I'm like, are you serious? That was the worst, but. But I guess aside from that, she was a really good Sunday school coordinator. She gave me feedback and she taught me how to give behavioral management in class because she was also she was also an early childhood. No, I think she was a primary school teacher.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
so
makes
she
sense.
does have some professional experience in teaching kids. But
She knows how to deal with different personality of kids.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I got started in children's ministry.
A quick question. So, like, is the kids like how the age
How old
group?
they are?
Yeah. How?
So at that time, I think we had a bunch of age groups as well. So similar to Rock Junior.
Okay.
From toddler until preteen.
Yeah. At that time, we had quite a number of teens. I think roughly about the same number as what we have now. But yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it was very, very tough. But what are your best memories in teaching kids?
Oh, teaching kids. I guess it's just when they actually listen and they can memorize what you taught earlier. You know, when usually because I like to ask like, oh, so what do you have learned today? Can you please, share to the group? And when they can just like repeat or like just say a couple of things that that I taught, then I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Especially like the toddler class, because they sometimes the reaction is different. Like, they can either they just like nod their head or like just say random stuff. But when they can actually, when you ask a question and they can answer it correctly, and I'm like, yes, that's a win.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same. So normally when I start the class, I always ask the kids, oh, what was last week's story? And then like most of them, they can answer it. What was it about? And I was like, oh, so what activity did you do? And then they still remember it. Or even like a couple weeks ago, they still remember it.
Yeah.
But you just have to make it like fun for them to remember it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the best part. Like, so that you teach them properly, that they can remember it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think kids have better memories than us adults. Yeah,
Like you have to be careful sometimes.
I think you say
definitely.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Some kids, they can't even like tell. For example, I was like, okay, today I'm going to tell you about Moses. And then one of the kids, sometimes they was like, oh yeah, I know. And then she started to tell the story from beginning till the end. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm going to repeat it again.
Yep.
What about challenges in children ministry?
Of course, maybe time. As for preparing for the story and then for the activity, especially because for the past couple months we've been doing online through Zoom.
Yep.
I think it's one of the most challenging time since I joined the Sunday school. It's really hard to preparing the activity because it's like we prepare it, but we have to talk to each of the parents. Like they have to prepare the activity, we have to prepare it ahead. Because some parents, they don't have printer at home. So we try to prepare like the simplest activity for the kids. Like, we just have to think twice to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard, I think, to speak with the kids in front of camera, not in person.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we enjoy it so much.
That sounds nice. Beth?
Oh, challenges. I guess cause at the moment I just involve more with the preteens. So to I guess to see how they react to your stories, or and sometimes the thing is with Zoom, you try to catch their attention,
Yeah.
and they try to to be focused, but
That's
sometimes
so
it's
true.
hard. Yeah, so they just lose track. Yeah, they got distracted, and then you have to oh, hey, hold on, guys, you come back, let's dig this more and stuff like that. But I guess I the same like Xian is all I guess about preparation as well. So if you can prepare your lesson in a very detailed, I guess, kind of way, it turn out to be a bit better. But again, sometimes it really depends on the children. On their mood.
Yeah, definitely. I think a good quote. I don't know who said this, but it says, "If you fail to plan, you plan to fail." So I think it applies especially in children's ministry, where you have to.
correct.
What happens if you're not engaging with the kids? Like what other backup plans have you got?
Yep.
How about you do with the teens?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it's different level, and then they will ask you harder questions, so you have to prepare a lot of.
Which I don't mind.
Thanks.
I'm actually quite happy if they do ask questions. I think I guess my principles in preparing the lessons for the teens is trying to get them to talk, trying to get them to discuss. Because in my opinion, because I think with younger kids, it's more about they need to be receiving things from the teachers,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
But I think for when the children they start to grow a bit older, my opinion is that they want to be heard. So I want to be able to create an environment where they can express their opinions freely, no judgment,
Yep.
and then give my own insights into their experiences.
That's really good.
I don't know if it's been working well, but I guess that's just my philosophy in looking after the teens.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, it's also help you to get to know them better. Then you know what they going through, and then probably you can always build that relationship, because it's at the end it's all about relationship, right? And then you can just share, and then
It's easier for them to open up.
yeah, correct. Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
So let's get into our main topic today.
That's just the introduction.
I know, quite a bit of a long introduction, hey. But let's talk about worship. Because our theme this month has been about worship.
Yeah.
And so what does worshiping God mean to you?
So for me, worship is one of the tools of connecting with God. You know how we can pray, we can read the Bible. That's also how you connect with God. But for me, because I really enjoy music. I guess when I start singing, and you can actually manage to speak it out, that makes a different stories as well for me. It gives me different kind of feeling, and I think every time I worship, I also can feel God's presence. With prayer, it's probably it's more intimate kind of thing, and I usually pray inside my heart. I really don't really use the mouth talk it out.
Praying out loud,
Yeah, praying out loud, correct. So yeah, with worship, it's really, I can just connect with God. The lyrics as well, if it's just if it's aligned with what happened in your life, it just really even, make a greater even presence. Yeah, so yeah, that's my thought about worship. What about Xian?
Yeah.
For me, worshiping, I agree with Tibet. It's we feel very connected with God when we do worship. And not only with prayers, but we also can show our gratitude, how grateful we are with our God by doing worship. And sometimes, because the words from the worship, it really align with what happened in our life. So I think it's just a way we communicating with God as well to make us closer with Him.
Oh yeah, definitely, Xian. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you guys as well. I think worship is it is quite an intimate activity. Hey? Like it's kind of like an expression of love
Yes.
for God. Yeah, but sometimes maybe we overcomplicate things a bit too much. Hey,
What do you mean?
like you gotta to make God happy, you gotta pray, you gotta do this and this and this and this and this, and I think it really just comes down to the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you guys teach this idea of worship to the little kids?
I don't know. It depends on the kids, though, because sometimes, not sometimes. I think the little kids, I think it's hard for us to explain about worship, like explaining them. I think it's easier for them to understand about how we pray instead of how we do worship. So instead of we say worship, we were like, okay, let's sing a song, let's praise God.
Correct.
We do it while they're singing. They do dancing as well. It's just like I think we teach them through songs.
I mean, like exactly like Xian said, like teaching through song,
Yeah.
like the lyrics and stuff, because sometimes like I don't know, like with me, I have like a very limited word, so when you look at the lyrics, like rise and shine, and then you can just say, hey kids, rise and shine, and then you just teach the kids literally through the lyrics, like
Maybe after they sing the song and then we explain, from the song we know that God loves us so much,
exactly.
and then it's just because we love Him so much, that's why we sing this song for God. And
yes,
something
correct.
like that.
Yep. And like like Xian said, like we try to make it fun as well, being hopeful that they will engage and they can have fun as well while like worshiping God. Yeah. So I mean, like it's I guess like all kids are different. We try to engage them as much as we can. But like I guess it also goes back again to the kids.
Yep.
Creating that habit for them. Every Sunday we'll do praise and worship, and then we'll just hopefully they'll get used to it when they grow up as well.
Hopefully, yeah. I guess that's always our wish.
Yes.
That's all we hope for all the time.
Oh, and just sometimes I think when I tell them the story, they do the activity, I turn on the worship song for the kids. So just they know like different kind of new song or worship that they can learn.
I guess my experience with younger kids, I think before coming to Brisbane, I spent most of my time looking after children in their preteens. So it was a bit of a mix as well because we had a small church, so like we only had one class, and that one class had like kids from age 6 to like 12. So that was quite difficult. I found that it was quite difficult to engage with all the
older
kids.
ones. Yeah.
Not necessarily the older ones. The older ones are
really?
quite good.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes-
surprising, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's different with us.
Yes, exactly. It's completely
Like
different.
the other way around.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
I find that it's hard to capture all their attention at the same time. So like, how do you guys like I guess teach or I guess show them ways to worship in a way that is appealing and engaging?
Because for us it's easier to engage with the younger kids.
Correct.
With like 1 to 4 years old, 1 to 5, I think. But then the older one, sometimes they don't want to stand up.
Yes.
They just sit down. But then I think it's good. I don't know who did it the first time, but I remember one of the teacher was like, "Okay, you can choose a song."
Oh,
And then
yes.
one of the older kid chose the song, and then they start like
Following.
to be more engaged with the worship, which
Yep.
is good. Yeah, I think that's what I normally do because we normally do 2 or 3 songs
Yes.
when we do worship, and then one song I ask the older kids, "Oh, what song do you want to do?" Because we sing and dance as well. Yeah, that's what we do.
Do you guys have like a wide range of songs to pick from, or?
I think we do. Yeah, Xian is very good in like picking the song as well. Like she introduced us to all this, variety of kids songs. Jimeri as well. So all of those songs have movement. And
the kids loved it.
yeah, the kids loved it. Like, the younger kids, like the bigger one, nah, that's when we have the difference. They just like, I'm a bit shy. This is not cool enough, guys.
If they sing, they don't dance. If they
Yes.
dance, they don't sing. But the little kids, they do
Yes,
both.
correct.
Like, so good.
That's quite interesting. It's a bit different, yeah, our experiences. I think back when I was looking after the younger children, we didn't have a wide range of songs. I always picked One Way because that was fun. One Way Jesus is always fun.
Yeah.
How old is the song? What, 2005, I think, 2006. Still, it's timeless.
Yes, that's so true. Yep.
That's a good song.
So we had one fun song, and then we also had one slow song.
Yeah.
And usually the slow songs, I think the older kids were more willing to participate. Right?
And then it's good because I think the lyric is pretty important.
Yep.
We put the lyric on each song.
Yes.
So even though the younger kids, most of them they can't read yet, but then after a couple weeks they can remember it.
Yes.
But the older kids, even though they don't know the song, they can start to sing
Read it,
because they
yep.
can read the lyric. I think that's a good one, putting the lyric on
Yeah.
for the song.
So how do you guys balance between having fun with the songs and focusing the worship to God? Because I know that it's important to have different ways to appeal to your demographic. For example, with us, Indonesian songs do appeal to our demographic more. In a sense,
Okay.
although we understand that of course we have to accommodate for the non-Indonesian speakers, and that's why we have only been using English songs so far. But I guess I'm speaking from my personal experience, which I don't know if you guys have the same experience as well. I feel like I connect more with Indonesian songs. So that's how I guess in a sense we could use that as a way to appeal to the demographic. With the younger children, you can have movements, you can have singing, fun lyrics and stuff.
Yep.
But how do you balance between you're using that as a way to engage their intention, but also to help them to focus on the worship?
Oh, this is a very hard question, Sandra.
I know, yeah. When I thought about this, I couldn't.
To be honest, I don't think I really think it through till in that depth. But every time when we do praise and worship, we when during the praise we tend to ask the children to get up. That's when we do the movement and so on. And then when it's time to worship, then we ask them to sit down. Calm yourself, and then of course we have a slower song.
Maybe we choose the song that they can understand pretty easy with the words, with the lyrics. Might not be for the school age or toddler, but at least the other kids, they know what the song means. We're worshiping, and then because we don't want them to sing, but they don't know what it is, what's the song about.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. So you're saying that the older kids, you expect them to understand the meaning of the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's why,
that's good.
Xian said, we always have the lyrics, on each of the video, so that at least they can read it. And I guess it will be different kind of interpretation as well. When you have the upbeat song with the worship, and then when you have when you just go with the praise, with the worship. Sorry, it's just we try to make two different kind of environment.
And also with the praise song, we as a teacher, we have to make it really, really fun, follow the movement as well. Sometimes it becomes really hot because we have to jump and do stuff like that to make the kids engage as well.
Yep. But the worship, we
it's
just sit down.
Yeah. While we do the offering.
Oh yes. Or we do the offering, then we sitting down, and then we do the worship song, just to ask them to let's calm down, and then sing a song.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give this back to God.
Okay, yeah. So the way that you guys do it is you have a set of songs to capture their attention,
Yeah.
and then another set of songs to teach them that this is the time to worship God.
Yes.
This is the time to sing for God.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
That's praise and worship. That's why one is praise
See.
and the other one is worship.
Praise and worship. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
not only worship.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's some really good insight.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're following the church literally. Like you know how we have it in church
Yep.
as well, like that.
Okay.
Praise in the beginning, worship,
Yep.
and then praise again, or like before service,
Yeah.
before the sermon. I mean,
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. So it looks like you guys are preparing them to get to church.
Oh,
At such a
hopefully.
young age.
Yeah, that's what we want. Correct. Yes.
Oh, wow. So we don't see them very often, do we? We only see them probably max like once a week.
Yep.
Sometimes if they have like if something happens on the Sunday, you don't see them, and then
Yep.
yeah, it's very hard to see the kids routinely. Maybe not routinely, but often. So how do you encourage them to maintain this like lifestyle of like worship?
because I'm teaching the school age class, which is from 4 to 6 years old, right?
Yep.
I think we just remind them, oh yeah, all right. What we normally do is before we started the class, all right, let's pray. And then after we finish the class, all right, let's pray, like do the closing prayer. And then before we eat, let's pray first before we say thank you to God. I think it's easier for us as the teacher to remind them, all right, if you want to say anything to God, don't forget to pray. If you want to say thank you and then say how grateful you are, just talk to God instead of explaining them, so worshiping is blah, blah, blah. I think it's easier for them to just, if you want to say anything to God, if you want to say thank you, you want to say how, oh God, I love you so much, just say it. Maybe just through words, not a song, because I think it's just easier for them to imply it in their daily life because they're still like very young. I don't know, but preteens though.
Wow, that's really
Pretty hard questions, yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard questions.
Sorry, guys.
I think to be honest, I guess there's really you can't text the parents every day, you know, just to say, hey, don't forget about praise and worship. I think it all
Don't forget
goes
to do your devotion.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what about preteens? We actually do daily devotion every day.
Oh,
yeah, that's like one thing that Chief Fifi actually we've done it couple of months now, but that's at least one thing that we can do together. But with praise and worship, it's really tricky because I guess it's more about your the choice of your lifestyle, I guess.
Lifestyle, yeah, connection with God.
So I'm sorry, but I think it would be the parents. Sorry, all the parents. But if they have that kind of lifestyle as well, then that's how the kids as well, will copy them, and that's how they continue to have this kind of worship lifestyle.
Yeah.
But probably like Xian say, we always try to make worship as a prayer. You don't have to bring your guitar or something, but literally it's like a simple prayer to God as well. So hopefully by keep on repeating that, reminding the children about that, we can only pray that it will stick into their head, into their mind, and they just keep on doing it all the time.
That's correct. Yeah, keep on doing it. That's why we do it weekly. Before we separated the class, like toddler, school age, preteen, we do the praise and worship.
Yep.
It's just repetition
Yes,
weekly.
correct. Yep.
So they used to it. When they get older, they used to do praise and worship, on their daily, and because for us it's a bit hard, especially when we do the online through Zoom.
Yeah.
In the beginning I tried to share screen with the kids through Zoom, so I put on the song and then share the screen with the kids. It's just hard because I have to mute all of them, or it will be like delayed in. Yeah, it's
Yep,
just
yep,
hard.
yep.
one of the kids sing this part of the song and the other one like the other part of the song. So
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, we're just gonna go straight into the Bible story.
Yeah, I'm same. Like we haven't do through the Zoom. So one thing that we miss is actually praise and
Praise
worship.
and worship, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess from what we've discussed so far, I think from what I've listened to you guys, it seems like the role of the parent is very important. I guess from my observations as well, it seems that it's the kids with the parents who are like more devout believers that they grow exponentially compared to I guess kids with parents who have slightly different lifestyles. So how can we, I guess, get the help from the parents to encourage the children to grow in their spiritual life?
The only thing that I can think of is because we do have a group chat with teachers and parents together. Maybe we kind of like update them, like how the kids doing, and then what we've been discussing with the kids. Because I feel like the kids from my class, whenever I told them, all right, I'm going to tell you a story about this, and then most of them was like, oh yeah, I know, and then they start to talk about it. And then, yeah, I think because their parents also tell them a lot of Bible story at home. That's why they know a lot of stuff. And then, for example, last time also, we were discussing about how to show the act of love to the other people. Can you tell us the example? And then most of them was like, oh yeah, I was helping my mom. Oh yeah, me and my dad was doing stuff like that. I think it shows them that the parents also engaging them with godly activities on their daily life. I think so, yeah. So I think it's good we talk often with their parents, so we know like what kind of lifestyle they're doing outside church. So yeah, what do you think, Drew?
I guess my opinion is that yes, parents are very important, especially
an important role,
for the I guess spiritual development of younger kids. At the same time, they're also very important for teenagers as well.
Yep.
But I think I guess for teens, the help of the peers is also very influential. Like what I mean is, like if we have, like if they're in a community where everyone is like, oh, they love God, they're super passionate for God, it's very easy for them to love God as well. Whereas, like if you're surrounded by people who are like, like they're not gonna love God.
They don't even know.
They're like if the people around them don't care, why should they care?
Yep.
So
Then I'll be different. Like I'll be by myself.
yeah.
Maybe that's what they think.
The
I
odd
think,
one.
yeah. I think peer pressure
Yeah, that's the word.
can be like negative and can also be positive for the spiritual development of teenagers.
Yep.
So I think the challenge is not only to get the parents involved, but also to somehow
The community.
like the community, having a community where everyone loves God and everyone's very vocal about their passion for God as well. Do you guys have any ideas of as to how we can build a community like that?
By coming to the church. No, I mean but seriously, I guess I remember, I think Lilian, how the teens have this very strong bond with each other. Probably when they grow older, even later on, probably when they grew apart, they still have that kind of bond.
Strong connection.
Yeah, within the church, the same as us as well, I guess, the classes that we have at the moment, hoping that
They're very close.
yeah, they can build that relationship, and every year it just keep on stronger and stronger. So whenever they go, they know that they can always come back to this community. And yeah, I mean hopefully they will still have these godly friends that can be among with them. Because yeah, I mean where else that you can find that except coming to church?
Yeah, so I guess in a sense it is quite similar to how we encourage adults to worship,
Yep.
by practicing it routinely,
Yeah.
and hopefully getting them to understand the message behind why we worship. I guess, we just deliver the message in a different way, more engaging, more appropriate to their
Yes.
to their age. Yeah.
Yep. I just want to say thank you for inviting me to this podcast.
Oh, yay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Drew. And thanks everyone who helped behind
The
preparing-
scene.
Yeah, behind the scene preparing this podcast.
Nah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation,
Yep, it's
and hopefully it gives a bit of insight to the listeners as well
Yep.
to what Sunday school is like or children's ministry is like, and hopefully we might be able to recruit some more teachers.
Yes, please.
All right, we open recruitment. Send your resume to you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Our podcast releases every Wednesday at 8 a.m.
If you want to reach us out, please do so through our email, IG, or YouTube account, which you can find through our profile.
See you next time.